Shalom, shalom is first and foremost. We'd like to give our praises and our glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Akakudash, the honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching and teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Shapal from the James Jamaica camp with a quick lesson. This lesson, as you know, we scroll through social media every now and then, and we find things that actually edifying, to the body, and there's scriptures that actually coincide with what's happening out there in the real world. Now here's a movie, and let me just say that goes to show that the Bible is real. We're not just living in as what some people are call it. Those are Bible days. Whenever you try to bring out the scripture, it was back in Bible days or back in Bible time. We have never left the Bible. It speaks about future events, and it really exposes things that are happening today. Right? It brings back the past, to life, and it's also filled with prophecies, man. And it shows the identity or the nature of certain people. You know what I mean? For example, this is one. So it's a movie, an excerpt from a movie, and it's called A Thousand Blows. Right? I don't know if it's a series or a movie. One can look it up, but something's been said in this clip right here that I wanted to expound on, because it keep on popping up on my feed. Because I watch a lot of these British type of colonial type of thing. Just to keep in the spirit. You know what I mean? So to speak. But let me see, let's just get into this video, and we're going to bring some scripture, to show you what's happening. Alright?
I was. The Levant Bay
Alright, so here it starts.
The Levant Bay outrage went straight to the heart of the Jamaican question. Could Africans be trusted with freedom? The answer was a resounding no. It didn't only suppress the savage nature, not vanish it entirely.
Right, so he's speaking about the Moran Bay Rebellion, and he's actually, speaking about the savage nature of the so-called Jamaicans, which, when you really look at it, these men are the true savages, because these men have a long list of things that they have done to our people in slavery, right? And we ever hear this character right here mention some of the things, right? But just to add a few to it, these men feed Israelite babies, right? Or so-called Negro babies to alligator for alligator bait, right? These men make gamble and bet on the outcome of women that were pregnant in slavery, right? And back then, even in Europe, right? And they make a bet on what the nature of the child is, or the gender of the child is, and they would cut a woman's stomach open or belly open, right? And then there's a lot of atrocities where Esau, Edom, that's the so-called white man for you, have done to our people, right? And sit across the table now speaking about the savagery of our people, when these men basically put a lot of what you call it, these men are the cause of a lot of what Jake identity has become now today, right? See, them literally force you, right? That's why the ghettos are called projects. Yeah, I mean, these are the ones that do these things, right? So Esau Edom, which so-called white man, is the biggest savage. Look what they did to the Middle East, and everywhere them went, everywhere these men go. You know what I mean? These men left trails of blood, and them do things on a level that is crazy, man. The Epstein file coming out. Come on, man. You don't have eyes. Come on, it's 2026. If you don't see who's the real savage, I guess you're lost, right? But let's go on.
A savage nature, you say. Well, it was not of us who chained the pregnant enslaved women together at the auction houses.
I think we can all agree that was regretful. Slavery was a moral abomination.
And there's as the Jake remind them that they are really savage because they were the one that chained pregnant women in slavery and all these things. Their nature is savage, man, right? And now they're speaking about, oh, slavery is it's regrettable and the most abominable thing. But yeah, but you did that. And you still have no remorse because you haven't paid. And you're still living off of what these slaves have done. They built the kingdom and now you are now living like kings. So there's no remorse. The only remorse and the only payback is if all that you have gained from slavery, you hand it over. And you know that will never happen. The Lord Yahushua is going to come and, and do that. But anyway, let's continue.
Has the disease of abolitionism infected you through it? To seek the abolition of gravity too? Blood cleared with Saxon British blood. Now rules coming.
It was your people who exhausted the land with your greed and cruelty. Tell me, Mr. Carlyle, why does England have workhouses? Why do beggar children starve outside this very house whilst we feast like gods? So you speaking of my people, but I discovered no outrages in your land every day.
You may sit at this table and think yourself like me, but I am born wiser than you. It's God's law to return you to a new servitude.
I sit here because you and your ill couldn't shackle the truth forever. Not for your servitude promise, I wish you luck on that mission. You don't know how to think of it.
Yeah, because we're not going to ever go back in a servitude. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Right? But let me get some scripture here. Let me see. I'm going to open another Bible app. Alright, let me get my sword. Right, because they speak about servitude. This is Lamentation 4 and verse 21. So rejoice and be glad, O daughters of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, and thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. Right? So the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Right? So the daughters of Edom, the scripture basically tell them, say, look, live it up, man. Enjoy what you have, man, because the table have drastically turned. Right? You're going to be on the low, Israel is going to be on the high. Right? This is so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Right? So the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughters of Zion. Or we are the daughters of Zion. The scripture says our punishment is not accomplished because it is the Lord's will that we're brought into this predicament that we're in. And now, because of our punishment, because we sin against him, and now all that is up. You know what I mean? He did it, and you know the trick is, he started thinking it's his will. No, I mean, this was the Lord's doing. You know? So the scripture tells us, yo, all of that done now. Right? He said, he will no more carry thee away in captivity. Right? So there's no new servitude or whatever, you know what I mean, that these men are talking about. He said, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughters of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Sins of judgment is going to be upon the nation of Edom. So let me go again.
With Saxon.
Tell me, Mr. Carlyle, why does England have workhouses? Why do beggar children starve outside this very house whilst we feast like gods? So you speaking of my people, but I discovered no outrages in your land every day.
You may sit at this table and think yourself like me, but I am born wiser than you. It's God's law to return you to a new servitude.
I sit here because you and your ill couldn't shackle the truth forever. Not for your servitude promise, I wish you luck on that mission.
There is no new servitude, as we read the scripture before, that Edom is going to have us in. What the banking release has planned for us or for the world, right, going into this new era, right, this one world order and so forth, is not going to happen. You know, the Lord will come and return, because Israel, believe it or not, this is the scripture speaking, man, in 2026, right? Israel is going to be the new rulers, right? There's not going to be no servitude, right?
Minister Carla, why does England have workhouses? Why do beggar children starve outside this very house whilst we feast like gods? So you speaking of my people, but I discovered no outrages in your land every day.
You may sit at this table and feed yourself like me, but I am born wiser than you. It's God's law to return you to a new servitude.
I sit here because you and your ilk couldn't shackle the truth forever. That's been a servitude promise. I wish you luck on that mission. You don't know how to think of it. The Mark Bay Rebellion did succeed. My people won. A seed was planted deep in the soil. Actually, I would like to propose my own toast. To Jamaica and its lasting victory over the British Empire.
To Jamaica and its lasting victory over the British Empire.
Hey, and rightfully so, because if you really check the engagements and the rules of wars, if a country go to war with another country, right, and one country is defeated, then basically you are supposed to be lords over that country, right? Because that's the whole reason of war, to conquer. Jamaica conquered the British armies, right? Back in I don't remember the exact year it was, but back then in the Morant Bay Rebellion, which leading up to the Maroons, you know what I mean, and the high terrain which the British couldn't manage, right? They were outnumbered, they were out, you know, and so, you know, the Maroons prevailed, you understand, and conquered them. And in reality, when you really check it, right, if your army has been defeated, whether you surrender or not, then you're supposed to be, you know, lords over them. You know, you have won the war, you know, but that's not how it is on this time, and that's not in a plan of Lord Yahweh Shai. I wasn't, you know. But when you really check it, man, the Lord are the one where are going to ultimately come and take this man out of power, because when you look, these men think that they could never be judged, you know. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the faces of such as afflicted him," right, and made no account for his labor. So just like the scripture was saying, this so-called Jake, you know, stand up in front of these men face, right? These men are the kings of the earth, right? And, you know, with great boldness, which the scripture mentioned, made no account of his labor, you know, who built Britain and America, you know what I mean, over the backs of slaves. That's the same way, right? And even more, the men of the Lord are going to stand in great boldness, right? And we are doing it now through the word and power of Yahweh Shai, the Lord that bring back prophets, right? You know, to speak these words, right? So when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed, right, of the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond what they have looked for, because these men don't really look at Jake to be sons and daughters of the Lord, right? And the deliverance to a lot of people, well, the elites know that, right? Let me just put that out there. The elites know who we are, but a lot of people don't really think that we can be anything else except for slaves or sons and daughters of slaves. As you say, as the Edomites say in the video, "He were born wiser." That's the mindset, right? That's the mindset of Esau Edom today, right? It says, "And they repenting and groaning in spirit, right, for anguish and spirit shall say within themselves," right? This was he who we had sometime in the region, right? And a proverb and reproach, we fool accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot among the saints, right? And these are the words where about echo, right? Once the Lord return. Let me get another scripture and let's just jump to verse 6. It say, hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn ye. Right? It's a learn. Ye that be judges of the earth, of the ends of the earth. Let me read that again. Say, hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn. Right? Ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Right? Say, give ears. Right? That ye rule the people. Ye that rule the people, and glory in multitude of nations, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty of the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsel? Right? So Esau, right, which is ruler of the earth right now. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The scripture say what? Power and sovereignty is given you of the Lord. As I said before, the Lord basically have us in captivity because of what we have done. Right? That's the only reason why these men are lords over us, or because of our punishment. The Lord basically set up this man. That's it. He was not there, one doing nothing. But they have forgotten. Right? The Lord never really exposed that to them. Right? It says, but the Lord saw him of a search out and counsel, so because being minister of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the laws, nor walked after counsel of God. Horrible and speedily shall he come upon you, and for sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. Right? And that's self-explanatory, man. Sharp judgment are going to be to them that are in high places. Whether it be men that the Lord, amongst Israel, was supposed to be judged righteous judgment and have not. And ultimately Esau, Edom, right, which take up that mantle, you know what I mean, and still not judging right. See? But judgment are going to be to them that are in high places, and we can see who in the highest seat right now. See? So that's it, man. I just wanted to bring that out. You know what I mean? With that, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. The honest, the elders and the apostles of great stone. Shalom to the brothers and the highways and the byways. Preaching, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.